It's about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
Good morning. Hope you guys having as good a morning as I am. Today we've got two very, very big guests calling in, some of them pre-taped, but you guys are going to love it. First off, stoked to let the cat out of the bag. Everybody's been wondering who my Razor Star Car teammate is for the UTV World Championship this weekend. None other than actor and celebrity and all-around Razor connoisseur Dax Shepard joining me in the Razor Star Car. More importantly, joining me today on the air. It's a segment we taped the end of last week. It's going to take up a good chunk of the second half of the show. Man, Dax and I had a good time. Once in a while, you just get a guy and, you know, he's got his own podcast. He does this stuff for a living. An A-plus interview. Loved having him on the air. You guys are going to love this interview coming out in hour number 2. And then hour number 1, we've got, I guess, what is one of my Polaris Razor Star Car teammates from the Mint 400. But he's racing the NHRA 4-Wide Nationals in Las Vegas this weekend. Steve Torrence. He's going to be calling in here in hour number 1 as well. So Dax Shepard, Steve Torrence, massive show, and we got Amy Hood. She is here, and she's doing the first couple of segments with us today. She's in Los Angeles. She's got some stuff that is pretty big popping that we're going to talk about here in our, I guess in the next segment, right?
Yep, big is an understatement there, Jimmy.
Yeah, right? This is, I don't know, we're getting all Hollywood on this show this week, right? With Dax and what you got going on. It's like, I don't know. We've come a long way since the beginning here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. But not only that, we've got like 8 major motorsports events happening this weekend. Seriously, like 8. So we have a lot of racing to actually talk about this week, too. So we got a lot coming at you here. Hour number 1 and 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at JimBeaver15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, and I got to tell you, Hood, my phone. We just let the cat out of the bag on Dax Shepard teaming with me at this weekend's race. Literally, there's a press release coming out later today. This interview's dropping. I put the social media graphic. I haven't heard a word. I know you didn't even know about it until this morning, and my apologies. I thought I told you. But, my phone is blowing up. It's kind of bananas right now, which is always a cool thing. So I'm really excited to team with Dax. I got to talk with him at length on the phone last week, and we've been emailing back and forth for a couple of weeks. I want to talk about just it's one of those things, and we'll talk about what you're going to do in a minute because it ties in really good with what I'm doing. But you have these people in your mind, and I guess you and I are kind of in that boat, just on a smaller scale, right? But these celebrities, you think Dax, oh, he's rad, he's a funny guy, but you always wonder, is he going to be a jerk? And you meet him or you talk to him and you're like, oh, this guy is the nicest guy ever. This is the guy that I want my kids to be like, oh, I love watching his movies, because not that you want to watch all of Dax's movies with your kids if they're a certain age, but I'm just he's that guy. He's one, he's a good role model, right? I mean, then his story and his background, and he really is a good role model. But his wife, Kristen's amazing too. But it's kind of rad when you meet these people, and it's the same thing with Travis Pastrana we've talked about. It's Travis is the nicest guy, and he's you love that your kids look up to him because he's a genuine human being, and he's not arrogant, he's not a jerk, and Dax was the exact same way, and it was so awesome. But so tell us real quick, what can you bring us in the loop on what you're doing? I know you can and can't say certain things, so I'm just going to say, okay, here is Amy's time to tell us what you're doing, because I kind of know, but I kind of don't know, and I know you can only say certain things, so I don't want to probe you with questions, so the floor is yours, Amy Hood.
I mean, I also just wanted to add with Dax Shepard, the half of the other reason that I think he's a complete badass is because he was in a movie recently where the dirt bike sounds actually match the bike that they are riding, which is the first time in TV history, Jim Beaver, that I've ever seen that. So I really applaud, his level of realism now. But every time you see a two-stroke dirt bike cruising by, or man, you could see a street bike, in a movie, and there's a 450 GSXR, noise in the background, or a two-stroke is with a four-stroke. It does never matches, and it pisses me off. And we always, us on the two-wheel side of the community, we always poke fun at any movie that has bikes or, some type of, motorcycle chase scene or whatever. And obviously his new movie, Chips, is really, he plays the role of a pro motocrosser chugging a Red Bull and taking a bunch of Aleve, is totally exactly how us motocrossers usually, have our morning breakfast. But I just think how accurate he played that role as a moto person was so cool. I just appreciate him way more. But another person who I appreciate, and I can't tell you guys too much right now because actually I have my media debriefing about the whole thing tonight at 5. So I'm going to know more and I'll be able to talk about it tomorrow. Or Jim, get me on Project Action and I can do the whole, rundown of the whole event, and we can talk all about it, where I can give everybody like the full list, because you're going to want to know everything. Because tomorrow I am going to be walking the red carpet for Monster Jam for the new movie, the new Rampage movie that The Rock is starring in. And there's going to be a monster truck on the red carpet. It's going to be George. And, it's not, obviously, the cat's out of the bag because, we had a really nice display at World Finals. We wrapped 3 monster trucks with the 3 creatures, Lizzie, George, and the flying wolf. I forget that name.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but yeah.
We're partnered with the Rampage movies, and we're invited to walk the red carpet, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and we're going to be doing interviews. We have a host that's going to be on the red carpet, but me and Tom Mentz are the token spokespeople for Monster Jam. I'm going to get a gown fitting today. Hopefully I'll be posting a lot about it. I want to do a little road to the red carpet, live Instagram video. So follow along today. It's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully I'll know more, and the cat will be out of the bag later. But it's so exciting, Jim. Like, I never thought, I'm extremely honored and grateful and humbled that Monster Jam chose me as the female to represent them, at an event like this. It's so surreal. Like, I feel like it's almost like winning the championship in Supercross. We're all athletes, we're all drivers, we're also entertainers, but, to be given an opportunity like this just shows that, they see you as a great representative and ambassador of Monster Jam. And that's when I know that I'm doing my job right, is when they're happy with, how I represent the sport and, my engagement with the fans and, how I can talk about Monster Jam and, how it relates to movies like this. Like our Monster Jam trucks are just big, giant monsters that are, similar to the characters in the Rampage movies. And it's so cool that, they can relate, what we do to what they do. I just think it's so badass. It really is. So
that movie,
yeah.
Rock is just rolling out some epic movies, like action movies, become that guy. But
it's The Rock.
It's The Rock. Like, seriously, he's the biggest name in Hollywood right now. It's so rad. Like, I don't know.
He's one of the most famous people in the world, apparently, right now.
Yeah. Well, look at his Instagram following. It's like him and the Kardashians up there. And who's that one girl?
Yeah.
The Gomez girl. Like, I was looking on a deal on
Taylor Swift.
Well, I was looking at like a thing. It's like Social Blade does like social media monitoring and analytics, and it showed like the top 10 followed people in the world, and it was, I think, Selena Gomez is number 1, and then like The Rock and the Kardashians are right in there in the top 5. Like, it's kind of bananas. But he's
interesting.
Yeah, he's like the big. Yeah.
Okay, so
you didn't make the top 10. I'm sorry, Hood.
Segment?
What's that?
Oh, well, I'm about to. Okay, how much time do I have left of this segment? Because I'm going to give you a rundown of my strategy.
You got like 2.5, 3 minutes left.
Perfect. That's all the time I need to tell you what's going to happen.
All
That's how I can become number 1. Well, The Rock has the most beautiful little daughter ever in the world. You know me. Everybody loves the zombie. So I'm going to get her to rock some zombie arms, and then she's going to tell me that she's going to want to ride dirt bikes, as a young girl. And so I'm going to take her under my wing, teach The Rock's daughter how to ride dirt bikes. I'm going to become their casual babysitter. And then me and The Rock are just going to be homies forever. And we invite him to, Easter dinners and Thanksgiving and dinner parties. I think it's very, if you can dream it, you can achieve it.
You go. If you can make that happen, Amy Hood, and be The Rock's nanny, like, rock on. I don't know if Feld will be happy, but you know what? You're The Rock's nanny. It's one of those things.
No, they'd be so stoked if I was The Rock's nanny. Bring the daughter to all the Monster Jams, do zombie arms. Like, it's not weird at all. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's rad. Rad that this comes.
Weirdo on the red carpet doing the zombie arms all over the place.
It's rad that this comes full circle for you, though, because last year at this time, I was talking about Ballers, and your truck with your name on it made an appearance in Ballers with The Rock, because I know he's out there. He's like become this Monster Jam fan, right? I mean, or at least
he loves Monster Jam, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah, that's rad. That's rad. So
it's so rad.
Yeah. So So how does this work?
Got to put on my big girl dress pants, and I'm very professional week. There's no zombie arms on the red carpet. Unless I can get all the stars to do the zombie arms. Then there we go. It's gonna be fantastic.
How does that work? Like, you got this kid from middle of nowhere, Arizona, who grew up in off-road, and you got this moto girl from Winnipeg, Canada. I'm hanging out with Dax Shepard this weekend, and you're hanging out with The Rock. How the heck does that happen? Like, seriously. Like, you want to talk about weird?
Good things happen to people who hustle hard and are good human beings, and I feel like I believe in karma. And, you know, Jim, we don't work this hard for nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. Now, if we could get Dax, The Rock, me, and you all together in one place, then it's like, I think like an atomic bomb is going to go off awesomeness or something. Like that would be.
I agree.
I
mean, we got some more awesomeness to talk about in the next segment. I know I'm only here for a little bit, but I do really want to, you know, bring everybody in full circle with my new radio show that is dropping, you know, all thanks to Jim and you, but we can touch on that soon.
Yeah, we're going to take a short break. We come back. We've got more. We've also, man, we got so much stuff to talk about this week. It's crazy, but we got 2 hours of nonstop action coming at you here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, talking about our big upcoming weekends, but a couple of big interesting notes. First of all, got to give a big shout out to my friends at Subaru. We just re-upped for another year, so stoked to be back with the Subaru family for another 12 months at least. I don't see it ending anytime soon, but always fun when you get renewed from one of your key partners. We're going to be doing a lot of Subaru content this year. I think I'm going to be going to the World Rallycross round in England. And the debut of the new American Rallycross series. And so we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff with Subaru this year, tying them into even more that we're doing with the radio show. So should be a lot of fun. And then our good friends at Dirtfish, they've got, it's called, check them out over there on their Facebook page. They just basically dropped an event. It's going to be in July. I think it's the second annual one. It's called like Dirtfish Summerfest. It's like July 7th. That Saturday, but they're having a big festival up at Dirtfish, like basically a family party. I'm going to fly in. I think Jolene Van Vliet is flying in for it.
When is this?
July 7th in Seattle at Dirtfish. They throw a big party at Dirtfish there. They do like arrive and drives, like take people, helicopter rides.
I am coming.
Yeah, it's like July 7th at Dirtfish Summerfest. We'll tell them. They'd be stoked to have you, Amy. I just didn't know what your schedule looked like because I know things are getting bananas here this summer and fall. But, they'd love to have you up there.
I am there. I'm coming. I love those guys. They're awesome. I keep in touch with a couple of them, actually.
So, yeah, Dirtfish Summerfest. Check it out over on their website. And if you want to go to Dirtfish, it's at JB Dirtfish. Get you 15% off. But anyways, enough with that type of stuff. We're we're rolling in. We've got it was an off weekend for Supercross, obviously Easter weekend. So most motorsports were off. So then they decided they're going to pile on every event known to man in the Southwest in one weekend. So this weekend, we got. Check this out, Hood. We've got San Felipe 250. We've got the UTV World Championship. We've got a Snore off-road race. We have Supercross in Seattle. We have NHRA in Las Vegas. We have IndyCar in Phoenix.
Jesus.
I'm just trying. Oh, Formula Drift in Long Beach. I don't know how you can have
this weekend.
No, Formula Drift is this weekend. The Long Beach Grand Prix is next weekend. They do a drift demo, but the actual FD event is this weekend. So literally, there's like 8 events on the West Coast this weekend. It's like crazy, and most of them are within like a 3-4 hour drive of each other. It's like, what in the world? So I have no idea what our show's going to look like next week, but I can promise you it's going to be bananas. Like, how do you get all those winners? You can't have 8 winners on the show, right? So I guess we're going to have to be really selective next week. I don't know. It's going to be pretty random, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's about to get pretty epic for sure. But I mean, it's so hard to tune in and kind of figure out which one you want to go, especially if you're, part of the brands on the brand side or a manager. Like I know with Monster Jam, Feld we run Supercross and Monster Jam. And so, if a big manager needs to come in and, kind of poke their head in, or an athlete manager or whatever, they fly in for one show and then they're literally on a plane off to the next one, or there's different cities or whatnot. Like it's so hectic and kind of funny when I see like one of my managers for only a couple of hours, because then they got to head to Supercross or they got to head to one of the other tours. But I can only imagine, a big brand like Rockstar or, somebody from Monster Energy or, a lot of Red Bull athletes in those lineups of sports. The athlete managers are probably hopping a plane every hour.
Yeah, just have a private plane just jet around, even a helicopter, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty wild. So, so I know you and I have been working on this privately. We mentioned it about a month back, and I've been actually getting some messages too. So I guess we need to, I don't want to say air the dirty laundry because it's not dirty. It's exciting laundry. But everybody's wondering. So
it is laundry.
Yeah, you've got, okay, so Amy has her, we'll let her tell you guys about it in a minute. She's got a new show called Wild Ones. It's dropping here in about 2 weeks. Not next week, but I think the following week. It's a podcast going to be online. It's going to be used through the same online distribution network of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. She's not leaving this show. She's doing this one. But so I've got my side project, which is Project Action, that drops on Thursdays. This is basically Amy's side project that she's going to drop on Wednesdays. So Tuesdays it'll be Down and Dirty. Wednesdays it'll be Wild Ones with Amy. Thursdays it'll be Project Action with me, so there'll be 3 shows now. But she's not leaving anything that she's doing with me. We're just giving her own show because she's got her own following and she wants to interview her own people and do things the Amy Hood way. So I think it's great. I'm excited. Yeah. So I mean, tell us what can people expect when this thing drops here in a couple weeks, Amy?
Yeah, well, I really wanted to do something where, obviously, Jim, you kind of do the same thing with Project Action, a little bit more personal sides of athletes, and you kind of get a little bit more homegrown stories, and you can talk to one person for a while. And I wanted to do that, but I wanted to do something that maybe, was a little bit different. Being obviously my age, my late 20s, you get these crazy, wild athletes, the Nitro Circus bunch, if you will, young up-and-comers as well, so people who might, be the free riders or, people who are kind of slowly making names for themselves as well. And then these kind of veterans that have the plethora of stories and wild, adventurous things that they can talk about, kind of their life in the industry. So I want to get all different angles, the new, the up-and-coming, and the old. And I want to talk about the wild stories of tour life, adventures, kind of the off-the-grid, behind-the-scenes lives of these athletes. And I feel like we can kind of talk a little bit differently because a lot of these people I've grown up with. So I can kind of, it's not just sit down, we're going to recap the weekend's events. Like, these are going to be my homies, my friends that, we can laugh, joke, and really kind of get to the nitty gritty and maybe the, not so out there stories, the side that fans want to know about professional athletes. And the wild ones is because, we live these wild lives that are, kind of almost endangered. You got to work so hard to get to where we are. And then you live this completely different lifestyle that, not many people understand. And when I mean, different lifestyles, we live this rock star Hollywood life, but it comes with a price. It comes with a lot of hard work, sacrifice, dedication, often overcoming lots of obstacles and challenges. And we're going to talk a lot about that as well. So, this is going to be a very full circle type of show. It's going to be wild. It's going to be real and definitely going to be a lot raw at times too. So I'm really excited. My first guest is going to be Ronnie Renner. Who better than, my brother from another mother, if you will. He's definitely one of the wildest of the motorsports industry. My second guest, because I'm going to flip-flop, I'd like to do 1 week of a guy and a girl. And my second week is going to be with none other than our good friend Jolene Van Vogt. So pumped, obviously Canadian. She's been part of Nitro Circus. Now she's, a stunt actress for movies. Like, She's lived one of the wildest lives of any female professional athlete out there. So I'm very honored
touring with
her.
40 dudes for 10 years. I mean,
I
seriously.
know. Dude, she's going to have all of the wild stories.
Yeah. And Jolene, she's become my sister. I mean, her and she's one of my best friends. I mean, obviously she's been in the Star Car project for the last 2 years. She'll be racing this weekend with me too. But her and I have shared rental car rides, for a couple hours at a time. And we just tell stories and to hear her stories. I'm excited. I had her on my podcast, Project Action, for an hour, and there's so much there, though. You could spend an entire day recording with her, so I'm excited to see what you pull out of Jolene because you've got obviously you're a girl, so you're going to be able to take a different point on it, vantage point on it. But there's so many stories there. That's so rad that you've got her on.
Yeah, and actually, I was talking to her, and I've already sent the feelers out. So my plan. With some of my episodes, because obviously living in California and traveling as much as I do, I'm going to have the opportunity to be, hanging out with all these people instead of just doing some call-in interviews. So I believe I'm either going to be my 3rd or 4th episode. See when, what works with everybody. But we're going to do a fast females edition where I'm hoping for Sarah Price, Vicky Golden, actually Rachel Van Diepen, one of those new up-and-comers. She's blowing up on social media. She's an epic free rider. Everybody kind of knows Miss Deeps. You can follow her on social media. She rips her two-stroke like nobody else. And then Jolene, and Jolene's all for it as well. But we're going to try to meet all together. Maybe I'll go ride, do a little chick ride day, or just, come down, have some cervezas. But we're going to actually live record our podcast. So we're going to sit down on a couch at a bar, wherever, like at a restaurant or something, and we're going to be live Facebook, Instagramming, or YouTubing our actual podcast. So all of us chicks are going to sit down, feed off each other and really get the real nitty-gritty stories. Like, we're going to be literally swapping stories, not for radio, but with each other. And, we're going to record it so you guys can actually, watch how we interact, tune in live. It's going to be super cool. But I have a lot of really badass ideas. I'm really excited that I got a lot of friends in this industry to help me out. But you're going to get some type of content that no one has ever seen before. Like, you're going to know your favorite athletes on a whole different level now.
Yeah, that's rad. And I know, like, anytime I've done that, I did that at SEMA with my friends from Car Throttle from the UK. We did the one up at Dirtfish where we all sat around a table with a mic, and Jackie and Jolene and you and Michelle, and we just talked. Like, those are the best interviews when everybody's just chilling out, talking like real people and bouncing stories.
And rip off each other.
Yeah, that's the best. I'm excited, man. That's going to be a good time. But we got to take a short commercial break. Amy, she's got to go do some Hollywood stuff. And when we come back, we got Steve Torrence calling into the show, talking some NHRA 4-wide nationals in Las Vegas. But thanks a lot, Amy, and have some fun this week.
I sure will. You guys tune in to my Instagram. It's going to be popping off the chain for the next 2 days. Hopefully I can do some live Instagramming from the red carpet. Stay tuned and have fun, guys.
All right, thanks. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Got my good friend Steve Torrence on the line, and I got to tell you, you got a new shirt. I mean, I know we got chocolate and cream racing, but you posted up another picture of another shirt. You got like the best apparel, I think, in NHRA, but it's riding bulls and punching fools. And I go, man, I can appreciate that shirt, buddy.
I'll tell you what, there's a guy named Dale Brisby that he's got a whole line of rodeo gear like that, and I can't take the credit for that one, but riding bulls and punching fools, that's definitely new to the racing world for sure. So everybody got a real good kick out of that, and wish I could, but I can't take the credit for it.
Yeah, no, it's all about fun. That's one thing I'll say about you and being around you and Antron. Win or lose, and I know Gainesville didn't quite go your way. Neither did the Mint 400, didn't go our way, but you have a ton of fun, man. That's one thing I'll say about you. You just like to have a good time.
Brother, to be able to go out and race and enjoy what you're doing, and even though it isn't my full-time job, it is a job, and I don't make any money, but Antron, he makes plenty of money doing it, and we get to do what we love, and there's a lot of people that would say, oh, heck, I'd drive that race car for free, or if you'd pay me anything. So it's never a bad day at any kind of racetrack, whether it was the Mint 400 running through the desert and having steering issues and running out through the cactus, or if it's Gainesville at the Gator Nationals and tire pedaling, shaking tires, popping wheelies, and running over cones. I mean, there's no such thing as a bad day at the racetrack, because you could be sitting in my situation, you could be sitting at Capco in a tractor digging a ditch and putting pipe in it. So, I mean, it's always the perspective and how you look at it, but a day at the racetrack's always a good day.
Yeah, well, and I guess you go from like the highest to the highs to I don't want to say lowest to the lows, but you win there at Phoenix, and then you turn around and you go to Gainesville, and you just told me before we got on air you got first, but it wasn't exactly first place, but you were the first rule breaker of the new NHRA rule, man. Tell us about that.
Yeah, just before that weekend, NHRA comes out. It's a big rule that if you cross the center line stripe, they're gonna penalize you 5 points and start after that having monetary fines. And they're just trying to look out for the safety of all the drivers and everything. And brother, I've been racing since I was 15 years old. I've been racing Top Fuel since 2006. Never one time in my career have I ever crossed the center line, hit a cone, or anything. And I go out in Gainesville after the new rule implementation, and I'm the first guy to get the penalization of crossing the center line and hitting the cone. Like I said, the car went out and shook the tires. I slapped the throttle and got it calmed down, but when I did, it really hooked and pulled the front wheels off, and I tried to keep in it as long as I could. I saw that old Mike Salinas beside me, and I was trying to win. I just realized that my idea of winning was not winning the first one to get the new rule, but I guess that's what I'm known for. I'm the guy that crossed the center line first and got penalized.
Yeah. And one thing that it was really interesting. I mean, I've watched drag racing for years, but talking with you and Antron, I think a lot of people, and I'm a race car driver, but I don't think a lot of people understand what happens in a Top Fuel or even a funny car, in those 3 to 4 seconds. I think a lot of people just think you watch the lights, you hit the gas, and you just bury it, and then it's all over 4 seconds later. And I don't think they realize how much driving's actually happening in that 3 to 4 seconds. But you guys are feeling things within the car, and you're lifting and getting back in, and you got all these different systems that work in the car. And I didn't realize until talking to you guys how much is happening in that car in those 4 seconds.
Let me tell you something. It's the scariest 4 seconds you'll ever experience, because I don't even know what's going on in that thing. No, sometimes it's easy to say, hey, you're just going in a straight line. You only got you don't have to turn. You don't have to do anything. But those top fuel cars, they're doing everything they can to not go straight. You got 11,000 horsepower of nitro burning, just face peeling, muscle flexing power hooked to those big Goodyears on the back, and they want to go every which way but straight. We got wings to hold us down. Yeah. We're going 300. We're going almost 300 miles an hour in 660 feet, so an eighth of a mile. So just the amount of the distance that you cover in such a short amount of time, we're flying fast as like an arrow that you shoot out of a bow. I mean, we're 360, 380 feet per second. So we're going a football field in just under a blink of the eye. So not only are you in there with everything strapped down and tied down and holding on for dear life, you're having to make some decisions quick. That thing goes out and does spin the tire or shake the tire. You got to it's a reaction. It can't be a decision. It has no thought process going on whatsoever. It's just something that you do. You drive by the seat of your pants. And being a race car driver, you know what I'm talking about. You know that you got to feel it. If you think about what happened, you're already outside the berm, rolled over, or somebody passed you.
Yeah. And, and I just thought about something. We're talking about, riding bulls and punching fools. And I go, I guess driving a top fuel car is kind of like a bull, right? You got 4 seconds. That car's trying to do everything possible not to go in a straight line. And you ride a bull and you got 8 seconds. That bull is trying everything he can possibly do to get you off and not do what it's supposed to do, right?
And then that bull's trying to get you when you get off. My dad went out and won a round in Phoenix pedaling it. And he ain't never been on a bull, a horse, or any kind of animal. My dad is complete opposite of me as far as livestock and cows and anything, but that's what he said. He goes, that thing's bucking and bronking and raring down through there because you're trying to harness all that horsepower and get that thing hooked up and back down the track, and every time you hit the throttle, it wants to jump off the ground. So, yeah, I mean, we're riding bulls and punching fools. I can't be punching no big people, though, because I'm going to have to run faster scared than they can mad.
Oh, man, too funny. So you guys got coming up this weekend 4 wides in Las Vegas. I know, thank you for inviting me out. I will be there Saturday night late after I race in Laughlin. But 4 wides, man, how does that affect the game plan? Because I know, like, talking with you and Antron, you're talking about you see your peripheral vision, the guy next to you or the girl next to you, what they're doing. And, you know if you've got them or if you don't see them, you can, there's a lot going on there. But 4 wide, that kind of all goes out the window, right?
It changes everything you do because we race 22 races a year where this year we will race 22. In the years past, it's 23 races a year where you're only racing one other opponent. And so you're only concentrating on your side of the tree, and you got 7 seconds to stage after they go in or vice versa. And now you're adding 2 more drivers in the mix, and everybody does a little different. When you're racing one person, you know what that guy does. We race each other week in and week out, but when you throw two other drivers in there, you still know what they do, but it's difficult to go up there and think, well, I got this guy in this lane and this guy in this lane and this guy in this lane, and what are they going to do and what am I going to do? So it throws you completely off of your game plan as far as just going up and you have to change your routine. And it's loud. You can hear the difference with those 2 other cars on there. So, I mean, it's a distraction. A couple years ago, I went up there and pre-staged my car, and I'm looking at the light, and I'm bumping in, and the stage bulb comes on. Well, I hold the brake, and then I'm sitting there for 7, 8, 10 more seconds, and my red light comes on, and I'm thinking, what happened? And then I realized that I was the idiot that didn't stage the car. I thought I'd staged the car, but I was looking at the wrong light. So I'm just sitting there making everybody else wait, and I want to be mad at somebody else at the end, and I'm the fool that was holding everybody else up. So yeah, it's a whole different ball game. But to come out to watch it, to experience it, it's something that you either like it or you don't, but you need to see it one time in person to just appreciate the power of these race cars, 4 of them going down the racetrack at a time. And then Bruton Smith has built 2 of these tracks with 4 lanes. So You got one on the east and one on the west coast, and it's a huge attraction. And I think you're in for a big treat when you come out there Sunday. We fire up 4 fire-breathing top fuel cars on the starting line, and the earth shakes.
I got to tell you, I am pumped for this. I mean, it's. I guess I think I'm gonna end up going to Seattle round 2. But if I could pick one, it's like you want to go to one of the 4 wides, and just so happens this works out. And I mean, I'm pumped, man. I can't wait to see you guys just unleashing. What is that? 40,000 horsepower all at once.
40,000 horsepower.
That's crazy. 40,000 horsepower. That puts it into perspective, man. That's wild. Oh.
We'll get out there and we'll have a good time. I'm going to put the pressure on you first because you're racing Saturday. You go win, and then you can come out there Sunday and put the pressure on me, and maybe we can double up.
All right.
And we'll just tell them we all just got down and dirty.
Yeah, that works for me, man. Definitely works. When are we going to get you down and dirty again? We talked about it. I know you and Antron both had a good time out there at the Mint, but I know you really want to get behind the wheel. I mean, we got to get you down and dirty out here in the desert, and you got the gear now, so it's like you got a helmet and you got a suit for it, so I might as well just do it a little often now.
Brother, I'm ready to go. You just call me and tell me when to show up and where, and I will be there. Yeah. I'll probably just wear my suit and helmet on the airplane. That way I don't have to take no time to get dressed. I'm just going to get right in the car, start racing with you.
Yeah. See, I guess we got to figure it out with the NHRA where they just need to give you guys Saturday off, and you could pull a double duty, right? You could do the UTV World Championship on Saturday and race NHRA Sunday, and life would be good.
I'll talk to my crew chief. If we can go out and just go like number 1 qualifier on on Friday, I'll just say, hey, I'm going to skip tomorrow. I'm going to go race the UTV, and then I'll be back Sunday morning for race day.
Yeah, tell me how that goes.
I doubt that's going to fly.
No,
I bet they don't let me do that.
I don't think it's going to happen. We'll call it. They got the Danica double going on, and you got the double with Indy 500, Coke 600. We'll call it like the Torrance double or Torrance. I don't know. We'll have to call it the Torrance triple. We got to find like a third event you can race. So that way we'll.
If I had to race 3 things in one weekend, I'd probably short out. I'd be confused and doing the wrong thing. Because it was different. We didn't race very long in the Mint, but I got out of that thing and back in my top fuel car, and I'm like, okay, the steering wheel's way too small in this thing. The brake isn't on my foot; it's on my hand. Everything just felt different. I don't know how many miles I went, 60, 70 miles in the UTV, but that's a lot of laps when you go 1,000 foot at a time in a top fuel car.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. It's you put in a couple seasons worth in one weekend there at the Mint.
Exactly. So that's what I told AB. I said, I think if we make 1 lap at the Mint, it takes 1,500 laps to equate to that in the drag races. We got a whole career in 1 lap at the 400. I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I never really put it into perspective like that, but yeah, you guys, yeah, it's got to be fun though, just to be able. I mean, you get your adrenaline pumping for NHRA, and then boom, and it's done, and you can decompress a bit, and then you go and do it again. But I mean, this for you guys, it's got to be pretty exciting to be able to just string time together, and it's like, you make a small mistake, it's like you got time to recover. There's 2,000 more corners ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. And 2,000 more rocks just directly in front of you that you got to go over. No, it was awesome experience. All the people out there. It surprised me how many people kept up with drag racing in the off-road world. I mean, there was a lot of people that knew who we were. There were a lot of people that come up and said, man, we're rooting for you guys. And, the chocolate and cream race team, that went over the top. The NHRA made a big deal with it, and a lot of people out there saw it. And it was fun. And not only do we have a good time, but we're both very competitive drivers. So, I mean, we went out there not just to make a fool of ourselves. We were representing, and we wanted to do well and finish strong. So I think that off-road bug gets in your system pretty quick and is definitely difficult to get out. Yeah, so we'll be back sooner than later with you guys in that Razor Star car.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, my friend. Good luck this weekend in Las Vegas at the 4 Wides. I'll see you Saturday night, and man, let's see you on top of the box again. Follow up on what you did at Phoenix.
Absolutely, brother. And then I told you I'm putting the pressure on you to go out and do well Saturday. and then I got to hold up my end of the deal on Sunday.
All right. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Slam-packed hour number 1, winding down here. Had Steve Torrence. You want to talk about Mr. Personality. People wonder why I like drag racing. I love the racing. I mean, how can you not like 10,000 horsepower going, 300-plus miles an hour? But it's the personalities, man. Steve Torrence, Antron Brown, the Force Girls, John Force. You want to talk about personalities in motorsports, and NHRA is where it's at. It's just crazy. I mean, even you go old school and just the names. It's pretty rad. So definitely excited. Excited to see the race this weekend, 4-wide nationals. Right, it doesn't get much better than that. So looking forward to NHRA 4-wides this weekend there in Vegas. Stoked that Torrance Racing offered me the opportunity to come out and check it all out. So I don't know. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you guys are thinking as far as as far as what you're going to be tuning into this weekend. I'd love to know, man. We've got Formula Drift. We've got IndyCar, NHRA, San Felipe 250, UTV World Championship. They've all got live streams. We got Supercross in Seattle. I think NASCAR's racing somewhere. It's just we've got a snore race. We've got, it's crazy. The Southwest, we've got motorsports events all over. Weather's been beautiful, so let me know what you guys are watching. But we're going to take a short break. We come back, kicking off hour number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online in syndication on networks across the U.S. and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Kicking off hour number 2 for those of you in national syndication. Hour number 1 still, like the tail end of hour number 1 for those of you listening online, just the way the clocks work out. But yes, this show does go from Tuesdays online to 200 networks around the country on Wednesdays and Saturdays on the American Forces Network with our military and I think it's like 500 networks in 177 countries. So thanks to all you guys for tuning in. Make sure and tune into my other show, Project Action, that drops on Thursday this week. We're going to have this upcoming Dax Shepard interview that we're airing here in hour number 2. We're going to have a full director's cut style dropping this Thursday on Project Action. Last week we had a good friend of mine, Nate Adams, who is partners with Adam Carolla in Chassis Media. He was my guest. They do automotive documentaries. Did one on Willie T. Rib. They've got I'm just trying to think. They've done so many stuff on Le Mans, stuff for BMW. They did an amazing one on Alex Zanardi. You want to talk about a crazy IndyCar crash. It's probably the wildest one in history that Alex survived. But some amazing automotive documentaries. They got some stuff coming out on the Indian Wrecking Crew later this year. So definitely check them out. Check that out on Project Action. It's a different type of interview. It's a little bit longer form. We get into stuff. We don't necessarily watch the 4-letter words so much. But a lot of you guys have supported that the past year and a half, and it's doing well, so thank you guys. So, yeah, like Amy said, she's got her new show coming out in 2 weeks as well called Amy Hood's Wild Ones. So, Tuesdays it'll be Down and Dirty. Wednesdays it'll be Wild Ones. Thursday it will be Project Action. And if you want to get a hold of Amy's new podcast, it will be on the same network as the Down and Dirty Radio Show. So if you go to my website and listen in, you can still listen into her show on the website. If you go to iTunes and you subscribe to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, you're going to get Amy Hood's as well. She's going to be using the same RSS feed as this show. So if you're already a subscriber on iTunes, you're going to get them both. If you're not a subscriber on iTunes, please go over there and do it now, but you'll end up getting them both when it launches. So it's the best way to get her content. It's going to be in the same feed as this one, and we will have you guys locked and loaded for even more, good stuff. So we're going to take a short break. We come back. We're going to talk about kind of break down this upcoming weekend's events here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies, adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at Jim Beaver 15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. And a big shout out to my boy Dax Shepard. He's tweeting me, and I don't know if he listened in or not, but I'm getting some DMs and everything else. But he says, put it out there before the break. What events are you guys going to go to? Well, Dax Shepard on Twitter, he says, I'll see you Saturday. So, we got the UTV World Championship going down on Saturday. I will be racing the Polaris RZR Star Car there, along with about 250 to 300 of my fellow UTV enthusiasts. I guess there are dirt bikes racing there in the morning, early. I guess there's a big country concert, too. So I just learned we got shortened from 10 laps down to 9 because of a country concert, and they've got to open the road back up or something. So whoever decided to have a country concert in Laughlin the same weekend as the UTV World Championship, you can tell what takes precedence, right? Off-road racing, country. Off-road racing, country. Well, Laughlin's going, the country concert. So it tells you where us as off-roaders stand. We're nothing next to a country concert. I need to look up. I don't even know who's playing. Let's do a quick Google search here while we're on the phone, or when we're on the phone while we're on concert in Laughlin, right? Concert in Laughlin. We'll do a quick Google search and see what the heck is playing. What is big enough that they're going to shut? Oh, Luke Bryan. Okay, all right. Luke Bryan playing in Laughlin this weekend at the same time as the UTV World Championship. So I guess somebody smart would have invited Luke Bryan out to the race, right? Maybe we should add Luke Bryan and Dax Shepard in the star car with me. So anyways, the race got shortened by a lap, which that course is beat up. Doesn't hurt my feelings one bit. I think a lot of people be like, oh, that sucks, this and that. Ooh, I'm here waving my hand saying, all right, shorten it by another lap if you want. Doesn't hurt my feelings. The course gets beat. So beat up. And literally, I mean, think about that. Like you run a big race like Baja, the course gets beat up and you only go over it once. Parker 425, it thing gets beat up and you go over it 3 times, right? Laughlin, and we're the last class of the day. 250 plus cars going over the same course and going over it like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Think about how bad it gets by the end of the race. Like seriously, that's just insanity. I have no problem with them shortening it. And anybody that's an off-road driver that tells you that they don't want it shortened, they're lying to you. I'm telling you, they're lying to you. So, that is shortened. And then we've got, Supercross in Seattle. El Hombre kind of leading that charge. We've got IndyCar in Phoenix, which I would have been at, but it's on the same weekend as NHRA in Vegas and the UTV World Championship and San Felipe and the Snow Race and Formula Drift. So it's like, man, pick your poison. So I will be going to NHRA to the 4-wides. First time they're ever doing 4-wides in Las Vegas. Just got that track finished up. Obviously, the only other 4-wide location is Charlotte. But I'll be out there Sunday, so I'm excited. Torrence Racing, big shout out to Steve and Natalie over there inviting me out. And I get to check it out. I think Jolene's going to go as well. But should be a hell of a good time watching 4-wides in Las Vegas. So if you guys are Vegas locals and heading out there, something like that, definitely ping me on social media. Let me know. I'd love to meet you guys. But I will be out there on Sunday, coming in late Saturday night after the race. IndyCar in Phoenix. We got Formula Drift. Man, we haven't even talked about drifting yet. Haven't even got into that. Haven't even gone down that rabbit hole. And the season's upon us. I was going to get Turk and Osmo and Forsberg. We had Vaughn on a couple weeks ago, right? But, yeah, we're going to have to follow up with these guys after the first event because it's just, there's so much to talk about in Drift World. So much has changed in the offseason. New sponsors, new teams, new cars. Osmo dropped an amazing new Toyota that he's racing this year. Corolla, or that he's drifting. Like there's so much to talk about in FD. We haven't even got there. So it was one of those where I was like, we can't talk about it in full. We're just going to kind of shelve it until we can properly cover it, and we're not to that point yet. So maybe next week, maybe the following week, we'll get some guys on, maybe Ryan Sage from FD to follow up on the opening weekend and stuff like that. Maybe I'll talk to him, do an interview out on site in Long Beach with Sage, because I'll be out there the following week at Long Beach Grand Prix, which is another one. If you guys are heading out to Long Beach, hit me up. I will be Thursday through Sunday at the Long Beach Grand Prix. There's IMSA, IndyCar, Stadium Super Trucks are doing a drift demo. Should be rad. So that's coming up the following. Man, this is like crazy how many events are coming up in racing right now. And then we haven't even talked about Score San Felipe 250. And what was weird to me with San Felipe is I thought that the San Felipe 250 with UTV Worlds happening, I knew all the trophy truck teams would be there. I thought UTV teams would definitely be at the UTV Worlds, right? They've still got over 20, somewhere around like 20 turbo cars racing at San Felipe. Now, a lot of the teams, like I think the Schulers and Jagged X, they're throwing somebody else in the driver's seat and letting them go down and race San Felipe. But, like, seriously, it's crazy how big UTV racing is getting. That it's just packed. But then you look at trophy truck, and it's a loaded field there. I guess we still got quite a bit of time for the Baja 500. So there's that. Nora coming up. But trophy truck, looking at that, man, it's a 300-plus miler, longest San Felipe 250 ever. Man, I remember racing it and it was only like 210 miles. So this is super, super long. Big news is Bryce Menzies is out. Bryce did some filming. I don't know if it was for Red Bull or which sponsor out at Glamis in his Pro 4 truck. And Bryce ended up getting a back injury out there. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. So on the desert side of things, that 6 to 8 weeks puts him back in time for the Baja 500. I don't know what that does to his short course plans. But Bryce out with a back injury. They got Justin Bean Smith filling in for him at the San Felipe 250, and he will be. Bryce is still driver record. They've got some weird They've got some weird stipulation with score where you don't actually have to even get in the car and you can still be driver record. Something like that. It's the same things happening in the UTV guys with the guys running the UTV Worlds and throwing somebody else in their car for points. So Bryce Menzies, he's out 6 to 8 weeks. Justin Bean Smith filling in for him. Bean's a hell of a wheel. He's a heck of a mechanic, too. So he's going to be solid in there in the Menzies seat. I'm excited. He's a dark horse to take the San Felipe win. Got a proper team of proper trucks. It's going to be interesting to see what Bean can do in that. That's some of the news. And then breaking yesterday, some other big news. My good friend Robbie Pierce with Impact and Mastercraft Safety. Obviously, last year they sold that to Sparco. We helped break the news on this radio show when it was sold. So obviously he's kind of still working for Impact in an advisory role. But he'd sold the company. It just announced, it's all over the internet yesterday, he'll be on air here next week on the Down and Dirty radio show, but they just acquired Jimco. So sold Impact, sold Mastercraft. He's raced Jimco trophy trucks for years, and he's got a Jimco pre-runner. He just acquired Jimco from Mike Jolson and Matt Loetis. So Robbie Pierce, the new owner of Jimco Racing, I think it's definitely an exciting time in off-road, man. There's lots of stuff happening. Jimco's made an investment into the UTV space as well. So, Robbie Pierce, your new owner of Jimco, that's all over Facebook. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I don't think it's up on my Facebook page, but you can obviously go to Jimco's or Robbie Pierce's Facebook page. It should be there all over. It's a heck of a PR. I know there's some more stuff coming out, but Robbie will be on our show next week to chat on about this new, I guess Jimco and Jimco 2.0 and where they're going and kind of some of the technology behind trophy trucks and probably recap San Felipe. He's racing there this weekend as well. So lots coming at you, man, the next week or two here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show and in motorsports in general. We'll be covering it all, but we're going to take a short break. We come back. We've got Dax Shepard on the line for 2 segments. Count them, 2 segments with Dax Shepard coming up after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Like to welcome my guest to the line this week, something I'm stoked to finally announce. Let the cat out of the bag. My teammate, along with Jolene Van Vliet at the UTV World Championship, Dax Shepard. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Jim, for having me on. I really appreciate your enthusiasm. It's as if you were announcing Brad Pitt or somebody really special. So thanks for digging deep and getting there for it.
No, you know, I'm really excited. Like, we've had so many personalities in this car. I mean, Jolene and I, we had Tanner Faust last year. We had Travis Pastrana. We had Antron Brown, top fuel racer at the Mint. Now we've got Dax Shepard. Like, I feel like we're getting guys from all different walks of life, and it's been such a fun project. But I think the cool thing with you is you've actually got an off-road background, man. This isn't like the first time you've ever driven something in the dirt.
No, it's not. I did have a one car for a little bit. That ended up in the movie Hit and Run. I think it's on more action in Hit and Run, actually. I stupidly thought, oh, well, once you buy that expensive car, that's it. And then I realized, oh, no, racing is endlessly expensive, and you're better off with a lot of support. So I quickly thought, oh, I will need more jobs if I want to continue to do this.
Yeah, it becomes an expensive hobby, and that's what's funny you say that, because a lot of people they go on the listings on the internet, and they see like a trophy truck for $150,000. They're like, well, that's cheap, I mean, relatively. And
yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, but so that's not it. And they said, what do you mean? I can get that, and then it's like $1,500 entry fee to race, right? I'm like, not so much. I'm like,
You're describing me perfectly. I was like, damn, that's an expensive car, but hey, once I got it, I can race the Baja 1000 for a couple $100. And I didn't realize it costs up to $50,000 to run that race. Or I don't know what guys are spending. You would know better than me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't even want to attempt.
That's really what's kind of awesome about this UTV class in general, is just someone can actually race off-road, and the weight is so, low that the car can handle the same course that these bigger trucks and cars can handle without, tearing themselves apart as quickly.
Yeah, well, that's what's awesome. I like this one that we're racing. I mean, the Razor Star car. It looks like a miniature Class 1 car. It handles like a miniature Class 1 car. I mean, you're used to a Class 1 car. This is literally that, just shrunk down a bit. So
right.
That's
and not 4,500 pounds going into corners.
Yeah, not 4,500 pounds going into the corners, and just a hair.
And it's based on a 4-seater, right? It's like a 4-seater chassis. That's kind of.
Yeah. So it's based on a 4-seat chassis, so it's stretched out, so it handles more like a Class 1 car does through the whoops and things like that. And we just turn it into a 2-seat. But yeah, you've got the wheelbase that's similar, and wheel travel, suspension. I mean, shoot, we're running like 3-inch coilovers on this Star car. Like, I mean, you look at these shocks and you look at the shocks on a Class 1, and they look identical. It's kind of
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of maddening, to be honest with you. So,
well, yeah, I got to say, I had prior to last season, I had only 2-seater Razors. I had the 800, the 900, the 1000, and the turbo. And I switched to the 4-seater just to get more bodies to Oldsmobile out in Glamis.
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, oh, this is the way to go. The ride is so smooth. That extra wheelbase really makes a humongous difference, especially through the whoops or anything kind of high speed.
Yeah, well, and I know you go to Glamis quite frequently. I mean, it's something it's kind of become a family thing for you guys, right? I mean, you and your wife, she enjoys going out to the dunes as well. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go and have a guys' weekend. Like, the whole family can go and enjoy it, right?
Yeah, in fact, one of these family members wants me to get her paints. Honey, I'm on the phone right now, but I can help you get paints in a few minutes, okay? Okay, I love you. Yes, so we are a big Glamis family. I'd say we're out there 3 or 4 weekends a year. We're there for Thanksgiving for sure. And my wife likes the camping aspect. She's she's neutral plus on off-roading, that's a lot. That's as much as you can hope for.
Exactly.
She doesn't mind being out there, but she loves being in camp and cooking and decorating and doing all the stuff that happens out there. But we're both from Michigan, and we have sand dunes in Michigan, Silver Lake sand dunes, where a lot of people go in the summer. And I have pictures of me at 3 years old in my dad's truck out there. So I've always loved the dunes, but I didn't really realize that how much different Glamis is than every other place. I mean, it's hundreds of square miles of dunes, and they're just gigantic. I mean, I've been going maybe now for 6-7 years, and still never once got the slightest bit bored out there. It's just endless.
Yeah, you can get lost in a hurry if you don't know what you're doing. I know first time I went to Glamis,
Oh my!
I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
I got turned around, and I'm like, whoa, where am I at? Like, I'm glad I'm with people that know what's going on, because I sure don't right now.
Oh yeah. My very first trip to the dunes was in that one car without paddles, following guys that grew up out there at night on a night run. And I was like, guys, I've got to keep my momentum up this hill. If I try to, slow down to go over at 4,400 pounds with no paddles, we're all going to be digging all night. So, yeah, it was a real great trial by fire.
Well, something must have worked out, because you're back and you're still going. So, that's
yeah. I've yet to have that helicopter pull a vehicle out from the sky.
That's definitely a good thing, man. So, yeah, we've got you coming in to race the Polaris RZR Star Car UTV World Championship. I'm super, super excited about that. I don't know. I mean,
have you guys ever won? I just want to know where to set my expectations.
You know what? With this program, it's Jolene and I last year at the UTV Worlds, we had some journalists from ESPN riding with us. I think we took a top 10 at the UTV Worlds.
That's great.
There's like
seven. She's not
entries.
driving all season, right? She's just popping into races here and there.
Yeah, I think she's doing a lot of stunt work now. So I think that's keeping.
Yeah, she came to the set of Chips a couple times. She's friends with a lot of my stunt coordinator and a lot of those guys.
Yeah, so she's picked up, like last year she was full-time. This year she's kind of just when she can fit it in, because the stunt stuff is, like, she's learned. She's like, action sports doesn't quite pay the bills, but stunt work does. So
yeah, and minimally it comes with great insurance.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was her big thing. She's like, I got to get in the union so I can get my insurance. So
yeah.
Now she's in the union, she's got her insurance, but now the problem is, I think it's like the vicious cycle, right? You got to keep up enough work to stay in the union or stay on the insurance. So,
yeah, you end up the stunt folks usually end up needing to make some hours up to keep their insurance, and they'll end up, taking a job where their stunt is they lay on the ground all day long because they've been shot by a bad guy.
Whatever keeps you on it, right? I mean.
Absolutely.
It's not always glorious, but it pays
especially if you're in you have the hobbies that she has.
Yeah,
insurance is definitely necessary.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So Parker, you're out in Parker. Can I just say what a free for all it is out there for people who've not been?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I had no idea that a place like that existed, and we went about 8 or 9 years ago to do some boating, and right when I got there, they were unloading like a monster sand car that they were driving around on the streets. Like, you can drive, it's Road Warrior out there, right? You can drive anything you want.
Pretty much. We consider Arizona kind of like the Wild West still. Like, things are, even if it's maybe not legal, it's kind of like, well, they just turned a blind eye to it. It's like, he's being safe relatively. We'll just let it go. So,
right. You can drive razors on the road out there, right?
Yeah, they're street legal in Arizona. So it's like I've got 3 or 4 of them, and I've got license plate on them all. And small town, like, it's just my daily driver. I just drive razors around town. Like,
yeah, it's so fun. We took a family vacation last summer to Wyoming, and I trailered up 2 razors, and that's the only thing we drove for 10 days. We'd go valet park it at restaurants and stuff. I mean, it was, it's so fun for the kids. Like, all of a sudden they're super excited just to be driving somewhere.
Yeah, it's like my daughter, she's 9, she's got the little Razor 170, and it's like it's free for all when she gets in that thing. Like, it's just hell on wheels, but it's like been great. Like, she absolutely loves it. She looks forward to it, Anytime you can get the kids out of the house nowadays, it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, my oldest daughter just turned 5, and I'm thinking it's about time for a 170. She's got the electric dirt bike that she rides, and so I'm thinking now it's time.
Yeah, and they've got on the 170s, they've got the throttle adjuster, so like you can put.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, so you can put it so it only goes 5 miles an hour. Or you can crank it open where it'll go, 25, 30. So you can adjust it. So even if she mashes the throttle, it's only going to go 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, that would be the 3-year-old setting. She's not to be trusted in those things. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
those things are so cool. When I was imagine when we were kids, if they had something like that.
Yeah. What was it? The electric Power Wheels all we had when I was a kid. Like and they went about half a mile an hour. I think batteries are always dead.
Yeah, that and the Odyssey, which only the rich kids in my town had.
Yeah, there was one kid in Parker that had one, and everybody salivated over that. And I've still never driven an Odyssey. It was like.
Was it the 250 with the big balloon tires or a 350?
I think it was the one with the big balloon tires, and I we're picking my brain from way back here, so I could be wrong on that. I just remember there was one kid with an Odyssey, and he was the envy of every kid in town.
Oh yeah. We had that same kid at my school, and he had the 350, and you were allowed to go to his house and look at it.
Yeah, that was it.
We'd all fantasize that one of us was going to get to drive it, but it was just for viewing.
Yeah, and I don't know that the kid ever actually got to drive it. It might have been the dad's, and the kid just said it was his because the thing was always spotless. I don't know if it ever actually left their garage, but they had it. So and everybody knew they had it. So
yeah, it's really funny because growing up, like I fetishized that Odyssey so much, and then in reality, especially the new RS1, it's actually the thing you fantasized about. Like if you drive, I've driven one since now, like a Pilot 400, and they're certainly fun, but it's not like you can go barreling over whoops or catch tons of air in them without, needing back surgery. But now. That RS1 thing is everything I dreamed that the Odyssey would be.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the RS1 is you can get into trouble in it, and it's still forgiving, so you're not going to kill yourself. Like, because you're probably like me, you get in something, and you can get it in over your head, like, because, I don't know, with Razors, you just get so damn excited racing them and driving them, and it's like, but it's forgiving, which is great for everybody,
Yeah, at the risk of jinxing our team, I have somehow managed to never roll one in like now 9 years of driving them.
And there's more from Dax Shepard coming at you on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, after this. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Do you race, or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at ImpactRaceProducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. We're knee-deep in this interview with my Polaris Razor Star Car teammate, Dax Shepard. And right now, we're going to talk some rollovers. I've rolled plenty of them. Jolene's rolled plenty of them.
Oh, is it fun?
So we've done it. I think we've done enough. We've done enough rolling that you don't have to worry about it. So we made up your slack, so I think that we'll meet in the middle, and it's all good. So I don't think...
Well, now I can admit that I cartwheeled one at Clamens.
Oh, well, that definitely counts as a rollover if you cartwheel one.
We had hit the same jump like 25 times in a row. Everything was gorgeous. No problem. Then we're like, let's go back to camp. Hit the exact same jump we just hit 20 times. And I'm like, ooh, I'm pointing really far down. Oh, I'm going all the way over.
Well, it was like the joke was RJ Anderson, he did the XP1K and did the backflip in it like last year, right? And I'm like, well, how come everybody's making a big fuss over this? They said, I was on national TV in this one series, and I said, I did a double front flip in a razor and landed on the wheels. And everybody goes, yeah, but you weren't supposed to do it. You came up short on a double. And I'm like, yeah, but I said I still did the double front, and it still landed on its wheels. And it didn't count, though. They're not giving me credit for it, so I'm kind of disappointed.
You're not in Guinness Book of World Records?
No, they said it didn't count because it wasn't on purpose and Guinness wasn't there.
So how does the Laughlin course compare to the other courses you guys have raced?
This one, I mean, Vegas to Reno is just really long. It's like racing in Baja, but like this one, it gets kind of rough because we have to do so many laps of it. At the end of your stint, you'll be ready to get out of the car. I'm not going to lie. You'll be like, yeah, I'm done. It's time to get out. Which is why we're splitting up the driving. But it's fun, and especially like you get to start, and there's the Land Rush start where there's like 18 guys side by side, like a motocross start, So
oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a motocross start. So they wave the flag, and like 18 people are barreling into a corner. So I can tell you.
So I should like rub that testosterone cream all over my chest or something before the race.
Yeah, exactly. Beat your chest a little bit. And I'll tell you, I kind of played, I don't know what you'd call it. I was kind of a squirrel last year. So I was on the front line, and there was like 18 of us, and I drew like the outside of the row, and I knew I didn't have the end going into the corner. So they dropped the green, and I just hesitated a second. I let everybody go, and I just tucked in behind because I knew it was just going to be a disaster in the first corner, and guess what? It was. So I'm last going into the first corner. Everybody goes in there. They pile up. There's cars flipping over the top of each other, dust, everything else. I pop out the other side, and I'm in like 5th out of 18 because everybody got mangled in the first corner.
Yeah. So everyone's adrenalined up and doing their worst thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So they all just went in, and it literally looked like one of those cartoons where you see like all the cats in an alley, and there's like a big smoke, and then like one pops out, and the others are all just laying there. That was what happened. It was just like a big dust cloud in the first corner, and then there was a few that popped out. So
all right, well that's sage advice. Maybe I'll do I'll play possum till you turn one.
Yeah, that's what I did. It worked out. I'm not saying it's going to be the same this way, but I don't know. It definitely worked for me last year. So.
And is the car strictly 2-wheel drive?
No, it's 4-wheel drive. It's full-time all-wheel drive. We'll run it in full-time 4-wheel drive. And
you do. You don't. You actually race in 4-wheel drive?
Yeah, we race it in 4-wheel drive. It kind of spreads the load between the axles and stuff. So, especially in some of the washes, it'll get a little silty. You'll definitely want it. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. They've got like a stadium course with some big jumps, and then, and then you go out into the desert, and there's some washes out there. And it's like, I think we do 10 17-mile laps, and you're going to do 4. You're going to do like the first 4 or 5, depending on how the pit strategy lays out. So, you get a good solid.
68 miles I'll do.
Yeah, you'll do 4 17 or 5 17-mile laps. You do like 70 to 85-ish miles in that ballpark.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, so yeah, you're gonna have some seat time.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I'm glad it all got put together. I'm just excited to have you out in the desert and joining us in the Star Car. It's definitely gonna be some fun, man.
Me too. I'm a little nervous about traveling there all night Friday night after work, but I'm sure I can race on 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. Right?
Well,
right.
They switched. Yeah, I've done it before, so you'll be all right. But no, they switched the time, so we start now at like 2 in the afternoon. It used to be a morning start. They flipped our race to 2 in the afternoon, so you'll be able to sleep in a bit on Saturday.
Oh, this is music to my ears.
Yeah, so it's not one of those where you're going to have to get out of bed at 6 a.m. You can sleep until like 10, 11, and go to the tracks.
Oh, then we're golden.
Yeah,
I've got no excuses now.
Yeah, we should be rock solid, I think. So I got to ask you,
Great.
Man, I saw recently, before we let you go, you jumped into my world of radio and podcasting, man. Tell us a little bit about you. Let's give your podcast a plug here, get you some new listeners, man. Tell us about Armchair Expert. I've listened to a few of the episodes. I'm loving it. But tell us about the podcast and where people can find out more info.
Yeah, you're going to catch me with my pants down. I want to say it's armchairexpertpod.com. I think that's it, armchairexpertpod.com. And that'll take you to all the different platforms that you would normally listen to a podcast on. But, I've been a guest on a lot of different podcasts, some of these kind of longer form podcasts like Mark Maron or Nerdist. I did Anna Ferris's. She's got a really big podcast. And I just love doing it so much. I just love having an extended conversation. And then the reaction I would get to being on those podcasts as opposed to like going on, Kimmel or Conan is you get a chance to really kind of deep dive into a topic or, your own history or emotional stuff you go through. And then the reaction that you get from people is just, really sincere and kind of moving. And I thought I would really like to do this more often. And then I, decided to do my own with very, very low expectations. And then it's turned out to be pretty popular, which is mind blowing. And I just love it. I have an attic above a garage and people come over and we sit there for 2 hours and talk about every conceivable topic. There's not as much motorsports as probably your listeners would want. I do think maybe I'll do some kind of separate podcast at some point to talk. Because in truth, all I do is act so that I can buy motorsport shit. That's really just a vehicle for me to get more things you put gas in. So it's my number one preoccupation. But it's great. My my wife was the first guest. I thought that would be really easy. It was not really easy. But I've evolved over. I think I've done maybe 25 of them now. 10 are out, and I really dig it. I assume you do too. It's fun to just be able to sit down in real time, create content.
Yeah, and that's what's like. I've got this show, and then I also do a podcast with Podcast One, and I get to. Like you said, like this is fun. We do quick hit interviews, 15, 20 minutes long. We're running over on this one, which we'll let you go here shortly. But like I do a podcast, and I've been able to sit down with like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and a lot of Hollywood and music with that podcast. And you sit down with somebody for an hour, and you get into some deep conversations you weren't expecting to, these rabbit holes you weren't expecting to go down. But you learn so much.
Absolutely.
And it's like you leave those, and
and there's a weird intimacy to just having the headphones on and the microphone and not having a camera on people where they, at least thus far on mine, have been far more vulnerable than I've ever seen them in other interviews. And then, of course, I'm being very vulnerable. So the whole thing, there's this kind of false anonymity to it that creates a lot of openness, which is fun. As you say, you're like hearing stuff that you're not going to hear from somebody on a press tour promoting a movie or a book. And I think that's where the more relatable things come out. Because if you go on Kimmel, you're basically telling your funniest story that happened to you in the last 4 months. So if I'm at home listening to it, I'm like, oh, this guy's got a story about being stranded on Everest. I've never been to Everest. I've never been stranded. I don't really relate at all to what this person's talking about. Whereas the podcast, it's more just about their broader experience in life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, there's an intimacy that you don't get, in other mediums. I think other types of media. But
yeah, for sure.
Well, I know you and I could go all day. Maybe we'll have to circle back for round 2 at some point. But stoked to have you part of Polaris Razor Star Car, my friend. We will see you out in Laughlin, and looking forward to let's say taking a top 10. Maybe that's the goal here out of 70.
I'm not allergic to standing on podiums.
All right.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I like your style.
All right, I'll see you out there, Jim.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, Dax Shepard. You want to talk about a guy who, seriously, I could have done that interview all day long. I think just a super nice guy, so easy to talk to, and I'm very, very beyond excited to have him a part of Polaris Razor Star Car coming up this weekend at the UTV World Championship, the Polaris Razor UTV World Championship. So, we got full press release coming out today on Dax. Be looking for that on my social media. Don't forget, we've got some videos that are dropping. Dropped one yesterday on Facebook. It's basically the recap video to the Mint 400 with Antron Brown, Steve Torrence, and Jolene Van Vught. That is up on my Facebook. Check it out. Share it. Like it. Much appreciated any social shares you guys do of that, especially on Facebook. And then coming up here, I think probably Thursday, we're going to drop a full-length video from my friend John Tube at Tube Art Films. It's about 3 or 4 minutes with some even more epic footage. So, it should. We got a lot of content coming out, and then obviously this weekend, all things Polaris Razor Star Car Friday and Saturday. Be looking for that on my social accounts. I've got somebody that handles social media on site for me, so I don't have to worry about it. Concentrating on racing, you guys can definitely be tuning into that. Jolene Van Vught as well. I will be doing a show from the UTV World Championship there in Laughlin, but I think I'm going to pre-tape it, or I'm going to tape it. You guys, there's a live stream going on. There's all kinds of stuff. So basically what I've been doing, like we did at the Mint, we taped the show for 2 hours to drop it in Project Action the following week, and it turned out phenomenally well. I think it was really well received, so hopefully you guys like that. So I think we're going to do the same thing at the UTV Worlds next week, or this weekend. So we will be recording a show. It'll be delayed a bit, but I think you guys are going to love it. It's not necessarily talking about the event. It's talking about, just personalities, right? We're going to have a lot of them there at the UTV World. So looking forward to that, and, looking forward to this weekend. It's definitely going to be a fun one out there with more Razor Star Car at the UTV World Championship. And, they are... they are live streaming it. I know Saturday they're live streaming it. I don't know about Friday. And I hear Thursday night they're bringing back the Laughlin Leap and UTVs. So it's going to be like a Huck Fest for UTVs at Laughlin. So be checking for that jump contest live stream. Our friends at UTV Underground, they're doing it all. Joey D over there doing a phenomenal job. So, definitely be looking out for that. It's going to be wild, a jump contest in UTVs. No telling what's going to happen. There's going to be some carnage, though. But all things UTV this weekend. Score San Felipe happening. We already talked about that. So it's going to be one hell of a week. That's for sure if you're a motorsports fan. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap things up here on another edition of your favorite action motorsports radio show, the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Coming back at you after this break. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, wrapping things up here on an epic show. Big thanks to Steve Torrence and Dax Shepard for calling in. It's going to be a big weekend. Obviously, we got Amy in Hollywood doing things for Monster Jam with The Rock. I'll be in Laughlin at the UTV Worlds with Dax Shepard and Jolene Van Butte. Then we've got NHRA. I'll be there Sunday in Phoenix for the 4-wides. We got Supercross in Seattle. We got IndyCar in Phoenix. We got Formula Drift at Long Beach. We got Snore at in SoCal somewhere. And then we've got San Felipe 250 with Score. I don't know how we're going to pack so many winners into next week's show, but we're going to try our darndest to make it happen. But thanks to you guys for all the support. Be watching along on social media. We got all kinds of announcements coming out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's at JimBeaver15 or at Down and Dirty Show on Instagram. We've got just a ton of stuff, videos, content. Please share, like, comment, help us get the word out on all things, and use that hashtag RZRStarCar. Lots of events coming up. Don't forget, it's at AmyHood71, at JimBeaver15. Make sure if you go over to iTunes, subscribe to both the Down and Dirty Radio Show and Project Action. You'll be sure and get all our content as well as Amy's coming at you. We're dropping a ton of content the next couple of weeks. If you're out at any events, let me know. Hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget, I'll have a big, I'll be doing a ton of stuff at the Long Beach Grand Prix next weekend. Looking forward to that. But couldn't do this without General Tire, Polaris Razor, Subaru, Vision Wheel, Casey Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Impact, Optimus, Moto Shield Pro. Check them out. Some amazing coatings for your car. Help keep it clean and wash, make it clean and literally mud, dirt doesn't stick to things. Amazing technology. We're going to be talking more about that in the upcoming weeks. Our good friends at Terracross, Optimus, Blue Water Resort and Casino. And don't forget, use that coupon code JBDirtfish. It'll net you 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School. And we've got that. Don't forget, it's Dirtfish Summerfest. It's July 7th. They're in Seattle at Dirtfish Rally School. I will be there. Hopefully you guys will too. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm sure shenanigans ensues too. But if you're in the Seattle area, if you're looking for a vacation, go to Seattle, and then one of the days just pop over to Dirtfish for Summerfest. I think it's going to be an epic, epic good time. So thanks to you guys for the continued support of this radio show. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks to everybody that listens online, everybody that listens in syndication on the 200 networks around the country, and most importantly, thanks to our friends and our military tuning in on the American Forces Network that are overseas. One of my favorite things about this radio show is I get to talk to our troops and the people that are, keeping us free and basically allowing me to make a living doing radio. I couldn't do it without you, our friends on the American Forces Network. Thanks to you guys for tuning in, and thanks to AFN for airing us, man. Something near and dear to my heart. So thank you guys. We'll be back next week with more on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Be safe. As always, game on.